Haydn's Symphony 44 is known as Trauer, Mourning, an apocryphal story relates that Haydn asked for the slow movement of the symphony to be played at his funeral. The symphony was composed in 1772 and is typical of Haydn's Sturm and Drang, storm and stress period. The Sturm and Drang was a pre-romantic movement in German literature and music between the late 1760s and the early 1780s. It was characterized by extremes of emotion in reaction to the rationalism imposed by the Age of Enlightenment. Hello everyone, I'm Gianmaria Griglio and I welcome you to a new episode of Conducting Pills. If you're new here, this channel is all about classical music, score analysis and conducting tips. I want to thank all of my patrons for making this series possible, and now on with Haydn. The first movement is in sonata form and begins with a four-note motif played in unison. We will find this motif times and again throughout the entire movement. The jump from the tonic to the dominant and the return to the tonic, all in the forte dynamic, makes a clear statement. It grabs the attention of the listener and establishes a very serious tone. The Sturm und Drang, however, is unstoppable and flares up the next phrase. Now look at the palpitation of the motor, passing from the strings to the first horn. The initial motive is repeated, but it's followed by a bridge, modulating from E minor to G major, leading to the second theme. Although looking closely, we find the very first motive in the bass line, with a rich counter melody in 8th and 16th notes. In an explosion of energy, the head of the motive bounces from one section to the other, counterpointed by the 16 notes figures. The 16 notes become the protagonist of a long progression, reinforcing the great energy of the piece and the G major key. The final part of the exposition sees the return of the main motive, followed by a recall of the 8th and 16 notes motive. The coda does not end with a final cadence to G major, but with a modulation that brings the suspension back on the dominant of the E minor, the B. The development section makes use of both themes and especially of the first half of the second theme. The start comes with the first motive from the E minor dominant, and then one step down. And the more lyrical part we heard at the beginning also becomes part of the divertissement. And we see the 8th and 16 notes motive overlapping the second part of the first motive. While the main theme briefly returns in the bass line, the energy of the 8th and 16 notes motive grows into a dialogue. The development of this section grows in intensity and reaches a climax, leading us directly to the recapitulation. After the first theme is played, the bridge keeps us in the key of E minor. Stretching a particular cell. The second theme is shortened and ends on a fermata, holding the suspension of the chord of 7th built on D sharp. The main motif is used in an imitation game in the coda, leading to the end of the movement. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button right below this video and ring the bell so that you will get notified every time a new video comes out. For more in-depth analysis, conducting technique, and conducting exercises, look on my website where you can find more than 100 videos and follow my Facebook group. And if you want to support this series, you're always welcome to do so on Patreon. All the links are in the description. Let me know in the comments what you think about this piece. If you have any suggestions for future videos. In the meanwhile, please continue to enjoy music